I'm off to Castlemaine, Victoria, to visit Jeremy Forbes, who knows a few things about one of Australia's toughest professions.
Okay, food's up. If you want to come and get some food, come on. Tradies love food, don't be shy.
Jeremy started HALT, a health promotions charity whose main focus is suicide prevention among tradies.
My name's Jeremy. I'm a tradie, almost 25 years, painter and decorator. Dealt with a lot of stuff, drugs, alcohol, sexism, racism in the tradie industry. Not all tradies are like that, but growing up on the big building sites in Melbourne, I experienced bullying, I experienced harassment. I wanted to suffer in silence and be strong and tough.
You're a tradie, 25 years. Was there an event in your life or in someone's life around you that made you want to start HALT? Did you have some moment?
It come to a head mid-2013 when I'd gone to see a guy who had a steel factory. He was a very quiet, brooding guy. We didn't have many conversations, it's just the way he was. But we talked for like 5 minutes and he was the happiest I'd ever seen him. Like, we had this amazing conversation. And I was just like, walked away going, wow, this is something different. And yeah, 3 weeks later, I was painting a house in the end of his street and I heard the tragic news that he'd suicided. I went to his wake and the two words that stuck out when we were talking to the tradies was, who's next? Why do I accept this? Why do I keep losing friends and loved ones and family to this insidious thing called suicide? Why don't I talk up?
Let's talk about the suicide rate among tradies. This is obviously an issue.
Yes. So there's actually statistics to say roughly 1 every 2 days in Australia we lose a tradie. So it's out there, it's prevalent, it's almost an epidemic. And the main reasons why tradies can't keep going is definitely finance.
Okay.
If tradies go and do jobs and it might be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 and they finish the job and the person goes, sorry, we can't pay you. Yeah. That sort of stuff is really difficult. And I think tradies struggle with relationships and the role of alcohol. And that comes back to, which I'm assuming we'll touch on, that Australian macho culture.
Yeah. It's an interesting idea. You know, we're two men sitting here. You know, toughness for us, instilled by our fathers and friends as young men, it's a virtue. You know, suck it up, keep going. Yeah. And when it becomes culturally instilled, it almost gets put into the DNA. And I think some of that comes with a price.
I was part of that culture that did the she'll be right, you'll be right sort of attitude. Nothing like someone coming up and pouring out their heart and you going, she'll be right, you'll be right. They're not right, they want to talk to you.
Certainly, it takes a lot of things to build a country, but I think there's a lot to be proud of as a tradie. It's a heroic pursuit.
That robust, resolute, strong tradie that can work in the elements if he needs to. I really value that and I respect that. But I still think, and this is part of that tweaking, which HALT believes HALT can do, is to introduce that knowledge around mental health, reduce the stigma and the taboo, and introduce that empathy and compassion and that ability to open up conversations and listen and hear and respond. Please, if you're worried, you can suggest to them, have a chat. Be tough enough to actually go up and initiate the conversations. We've got a HALT bag here. It's got local and national support services. Please, just put it in your toolbox, put it in your shed, put it in your ute, and take care of each other. Thank you so much. Thank you. We have a brekkie, so they have the rest of the day to work with their colleagues to talk about this. So the conversations will already be happening as we're talking now.
Perhaps the most interesting part of what I took away from Jeremy was that some of the toughness that these guys have, it can turn on them. It might be tougher than their actual job to admit, I have depression problems, I have anxiety problems, because they are going against decades of, I'm tough, I don't whinge. It's incredible. But I never thought that toughness could be detrimental.